What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego back with some more boxing. Came across this tweet, figured I'd share it with you. I don't know how many of you guys are in the Twitter sphere, and I thought it was interesting. Looks like Ruslan Provodnikov called out yet another legendary fighter. The first fighter he called out was Mayweather. Highly doubt a Mayweather fight would happen. I don't think he's really done enough to earn it. He's an exciting fighter. Plus, the Cold War between Top Rank and Golden Boy, I just doubt that would be the fight to get made out of all the fights that could have been made between Golden Boy and Top Rank that made sense. I highly doubt that this will be one of the ones that does get made. Anyway, Ruslan Provodnikov sent this to Juan Manuel Marquez and said this: "Let's give the fans what they want. Another fight of the year. Our styles will make it another one on HBO. HBO boxing." So he's trying to do a little self-promotion like a lot of boxers, using social media, social networks, Twitter, to jog up some interest in a particular fight. We've seen a lot of fighters do this recently. I've seen Austin Trout and Edislandi Lara try to make a kind of a deal, talk through Twitter. Gabriel Rosado and Austin Trout. I've seen Robert Guerrero tweeting Vic Ortiz, trying to make a fight, trying to jog that up. My thoughts on this fight: if Marquez decides he wants to keep fighting, I would like to see this fight. You have a puncher who showed a little bit of boxing, but he's really a power puncher. He's not going to have the same game plans as a Timothy Bradley. The way Timothy Bradley fought Marquez was a very measured, calculated, strategic fight. And Timothy Bradley is not much of a puncher, so he uses boxing ability, he uses footwork, uses overall fundamentals of boxing, slipping punches, a jab, and he has a level of finesse that I don't think Ruslan Provodnikov has. But what Ruslan does have that Timothy Bradley doesn't have is monstrous punching power and a relentless, non-stop pressure fighting style. So it could be a good matchup. Juan Manuel Marquez is not a huge welterweight, so he's fitting better into the welterweight division. However, he's not a big welterweight by any means. So I'd be anxious to see at age 40, 41, whatever age he'd be at the time this fight actually could take place. I would be anxious to see how Marquez would do against a relentless pressure fighter with a chin and punching power like Ruslan Provodnikov. Does Marquez have it in him to pull the trigger one last time against a fighter like this? The fights with Pacquiao, that's a great win for him, but he fought the guy 4 times. I'm not taking anything away. Marquez is a hell of a fighter. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's one of my favorites, but he fought Pacquiao 4 times, so having that success with Pacquiao is not indicative of other fighters. Fighting a Ruslan Provodnikov is not going to be the same. Once you fight someone 4 times, you might memorize some of their mannerisms and know how to respond to them. But would he be able to duplicate that with a Ruslan Provodnikov, someone who he's never fought before? That would be my question. And again, Marquez didn't look great against Bradley, but a lot of that's based on Bradley's IQ, his ring generalship, his ability to make you miss, and that kind of thing. So Ruslan's going to be a whole different fight. It's kind of like Adrian Broner versus Paulie Malignaggi versus Adrian Broner versus Marcos Maidana. 2 different fights, totally different in really every aspect. The things that Paulie Malignaggi excels at, Marcos Maidana doesn't necessarily excel at. Same thing with Ruslan Provodnikov and Timothy Bradley. And it'd be easy to sell this fight to HBO, to the fans. You can even do, honestly, in my opinion, a 24/7. I would watch it with Marquez and Ruslan Provodnikov. I would honestly watch that. I think you could have an interesting backstory. They both lost to Timothy Bradley in completely different fashions, but nonetheless, they both lost to Timothy Bradley. Ruslan Provodnikov, the sparring partner of Manny Pacquiao. Bradley has a controversial win over Manny Pacquiao. Marquez has a clear and concise win over Pacquiao. So you can kind of mix those players up and make a creative storyline, I feel. And I would like to see him. If Marquez is going to continue fighting, it's definitely a fight I would like to see, just to see how he does at age 40. And again, Marquez is a hell of a fighter. He's a legendary fighter, but even some of his wins, he didn't dominate. He had problems with Katsidas, another power puncher that was aggressive, had a pretty good work rate and volume of punches. And that was when he was a little bit younger, so I'd be anxious to see how he looks. Ruslan Provodnikov, I give him props for at least trying to test his skills with people like Mayweather, trying to test his skills with the Marquezes of the world. Marquez is an accurate counterpuncher, so he could tear Ruslan out the frame. But then again, Ruslan has a chin and a lot of forward motion, doesn't really back down. So it'd be a great fight. I would like to see the fight. Let me know if you guys have any interest in Ruslan Provodnikov versus Marquez. Ruslan versus Pacquiao, I don't know how likely that is. Pacquiao still has a tough test with Brandon Rios, but they're friends, they're sparring partners, so I don't know if we'll ever get to see that fight. I would really like to see Marquez fight. If not, if the Golden Boy and Top Rank can work together, Lucas Matisse and Ruslan Provodnikov would be hell on wheels, and I would love to see that fight. If not, a Brandon Rios and Ruslan Provodnikov, even if he loses to Pacquiao, I think that fight can still be made. Let me know what you guys think. I think either way, any of those players that I mentioned, if you match Ruslan with them, it's going to be fireworks and it's going to be exciting because Ruslan has proven time and time again he's not a walkover opponent. He's a tough opponent and he has dangerous punching power. So let me know what you guys think. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.